Since YouTube has been suggesting I watch videos about the Fermi Paradox, I took it as a sign that I should make my own. So I guess this video is going to be about the Fermi's Paradox. For those that may not know what the Fermi's Paradox is pretty much just a question. And the question being, where are all the extraterrestrial civilizations that we expect to see out there? Why haven't we found any? The SETI program, the Search for Extraterrestrial, has been looking for over 50 years, and they haven't found anything conclusive yet. And according to a few scientists like Dr. Michio Kaku, I'll let him explain.
We physicists rank civilizations not by politicians and great men and great leaders. We rank them by energy. A type 1 civilization has mastered planetary energy, all the energy of the sun that falls on their planet, the weather, earthquakes, volcanoes. They play with hurricanes. That's type 1, like Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon. A type 2 civilization plays with stars. That's the next level of energy. And Star Trek and the Federation of Planets is just beginning to play with stars and nearby star systems. That would be a type 2 civilization. Then there's type 3, galactic. They have harnessed the power of maybe 100 billion star systems, like Independence Day, like Star Wars, like the Borg on Star Trek. Now on this scale...
So if Dr. Michio Kaku was right, that as civilizations get more advanced, they require more energy, we should have by now detected those civilizations out there. As they require more energy, it should make it easier to find them. So why haven't we? So the question remains, why haven't we found them? Some conclude that we are actually alone, that the universe is completely empty of life other than our own, at least of intelligent life. And to that I can't help but conclude that couldn't be more wrong. The universe is too old and too big for us to be the first, or much less the only civilization out there throughout the universe. If somehow we were able to figure out that we are actually alone, that there is no intelligent life out there other than our own, then that would lead me to have to rethink my ideas about science and religion. That would make me rethink my ideas about reality itself. The idea that we are completely alone would constitute a bona fide miracle, a miracle much bigger than what is in the Bible. It just cannot be. It's like I said earlier, the universe is too old, too big for us to be the first or the only. It's just beyond consideration. So there has to be other civilizations out there. So the question remains, why haven't we found it? If Dr. Michio Kaku is correct, it should be within our abilities to detect them. So something has to give. Either Dr. Michio Kaku is wrong, or maybe I guess we would be alone and I have to rethink all of my ideas, right? But I don't think that's the answer. What if instead of what Dr. Michio Kaku describes, that as a civilization gets more advanced, they require more energy? What if the opposite is correct? What if as their technology gets more advanced, their technology gets more efficient, more energy efficient? What if as they get more advanced and more efficient, it's that much harder for us to detect them? What if the answer is that we cannot detect them out there because their technology is so efficient that it requires so little energy that it's next to impossible for us to detect them? This introduces another, I'm not sure if to call it a paradox or I would call it instead a conundrum. What if as we get more advanced and maybe start traveling the stars, it'll seem like we're alone? We will never find other civilizations because the more advanced civilizations, technology is so advanced that it will always be in the millions, maybe even in the billions of years more advanced than us. So they will always be beyond our capabilities of detecting them. It's quite possible that as we travel the universe, it'll seem like we're alone, but it'll only seem like we're alone. They'll be there just beyond our abilities to absorb them. There's two options remaining that might eventually lead us to be able to interact with more advanced civilization. The first option is that maybe they eventually they'll reveal themselves to us. It's a big if. But a second option could be that it may be that there is a plateau, a technological plateau or a limit to how advanced civilizations can get. And so as we get more and more advanced, and as we reach that plateau, we will eventually realize that even though for years, millions of years maybe, it seemed like we were alone, but as we reach that plateau, we'll realize that we were never alone, that they were always around us, just beyond our abilities to detect them, that they were practically invisible to us. I know what I described breaks a few of the rules that we have set for ourselves, but since we're such a young civilization, it's hard for me to take seriously all the limits that we've set for ourselves. We don't know what's possible yet. We know what's possible for us to do, but we have no idea what's possible for a civilization that's a million years, maybe even a billion years old. The one advantage to my idea that it seems to describe what we actually observe, which is that we don't see anything out there throughout the universe, but that we get sporadic intermittent views of objects that are beyond our comprehension. UFOs. I guess that's it.